Hi everyone, welcome back to Sugar Mama TV. I am financial planner Canna Campbell. Today's video is about kids and money, but in respect to saving, investing, and our planet. Now, because we're talking about the circular economy, one of my most favorite subject matters, today's video is proudly sponsored by and a collaboration with Gumtree. So thank you, Gumtree. Now, I get approached all the time by people asking me how I talk about money with my kids. How do I talk about saving? How do I talk about budgeting? How do I talk about financial goals? How do I talk about investing? And this can be a very overwhelming and consuming subject matter if you don't know where to start. But the truth is, there are lots of different things that Tom and I both do in our home to really help stimulate and cultivate a healthy attitude and respect when it comes to money. Not just spending money mindfully and saving money, but also investing and understanding the importance of investing for the long run, for long-term financial freedom and independence. So today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 different things that we do in our home that really help inspire, motivate, and encourage healthy relationships when it comes to money, kids, and of course, our planet. Number 1 is pocket money. Rocco has unpaid chores and responsibilities that he must do, but he also has paid chores and responsibilities. And sometimes during school holidays or say a long weekend, he gets the opportunity to earn extra pocket money if he likes. Now, of course, it's so important that children have a mixture of both of these because it means that they are understanding the importance of working as a team and that you must have equal responsibilities. Now, Rocco has been receiving pocket money since he was about 3 years old. And of course, it started off with very simple, short tasks that were always very safe. But each year, as time has gone by, he's got more pocket money and he's got more responsibilities. Now, the beauty of pocket money is it allows them to understand the sense of time. For example, a couple of weeks ago, Rocco had the additional task of vacuuming my car. Now, when he got paid, he got the awareness that it took him an hour and a half to earn that extra money and how quickly he could spend it. So immediately he started to respect the flow of money. It takes a long time to earn it, but we can let it go very, very quickly. So you want to make sure that there's a bit of a balance in the flow of money. This was a very valuable awakening for him. The second tip I have to share with you is 2 bank accounts. Now, we operate off a cashless society in our home. Rocco's first account is his spending account. This is where his pocket money goes each week automatically. His second account is his saving to invest account. This is where he decides what split of money he wants to deposit into this account. And any extra money, for example, birthday money or Christmas money or money that he might get, say, from family and friends, goes into this second account. Now, he feels extremely empowered and in control because he decides what the split is that goes into each of these accounts. He also gets to understand the importance of budgeting and making sacrifices and delayed gratification. And when he does go and spend that money, he spends it guilt-free because he knows he has prioritized putting money into his second account, that is the savings to invest account, as a priority. The other great thing for Rocco I find is when he logs into the account and sees the 2 different accounts, he can get excited. He can understand how much money he has available to spend and how long it's going to potentially take him to get to $1,000. He gets to build his own confidence around self-discipline, and also he gets to watch his second account slowly grow over time. And again, that awareness as to the flow of money, how quickly you can spend it and how long it takes to actually save it up. These are all very small but very powerful insights and lessons. Tip number 3 is to have rewards and goals along the way. Now, I really try and explain to Rocco that we come onto this planet with nothing and we leave with nothing. However, in the meantime, whilst we're here, we have a responsibility to be mindful with our money, particularly when it comes to the environment and our planet, and making sure that we're doing the right things to sustain its future in the best way possible. So when Rocco checks his account, this is a beautiful opportunity to have a conversation around goals and rewards. How much money do you want to try and save up in that second account? What are you going to reward yourself when you achieve that goal? What is the actual objective behind that goal? This can be incredibly inspiring and incredibly motivating when you allow your child's imagination to take control. And of course, if they're working towards one big goal, particularly if they're a little bit older, this is where you can have lots of mini rewards along the way, or even take that one big goal and break it down into mini bite-sized, manageable and achievable goals along the way. But the point is, they are deciding what the reward is and what the goal is. And of course, you can educate, inspire, and guide them during this process. But again, this is incredibly inspiring and empowering for them. Tip number 4 is around mindful shopping. Now, this is where I really feel like the adult or the parent needs to take control and lead by example and invest some time and care and patience in explaining this concept, because it's a really important one. So when you're shopping online or in a particular store, stopping and taking the time to explain why you're picking one particular product over the other, why you are researching, why you're getting various different quotes. These are really important concepts when it comes to actually consuming in a mindful way so that we really reduce our wastage. A classic example is when I took Rocco to a store, a toy store, and I made him step back from the shelves and actually look at everything that was on the shelf and actually spend some time explaining to him quality versus quantity. So many times children go out and buy a toy. It's a cheap toy, we think it's perfect, and a couple of days later, it's broken and falls apart. But if we stopped and took the time to explain to our children, hang on, if you spend a little bit more, you're going to get a better made toy. It's going to stand the test of time, and they're going to get their first introduction into the concept of their return on investment. Now, just because you're buying a better quality toy doesn't necessarily need to be spending more. This is the beauty of the circular economy. So quite often, Rocco's and Apple's toys have actually come from Gumtree. This has allowed them to get better quality toys, saved me money along the way, and they start to understand the importance of reducing landfill. And what is even better is if they're spending their own hard-earned pocket money and they turn to the circular economy to make their next purchase, they may be pleasantly surprised by the savings that they get to keep for themselves and potentially even invest. Tip number 5 is to nurture and encourage the inner entrepreneur within your children. As I have shared with you guys, a lot of Rocco's and Apple's toys have come from the circular economy. We've purchased them off locally through Gumtree, which has been brilliant because it has saved me a lot of money and obviously reduced landfill. However, there is another magical element to this. As your children outgrow these toys or don't need them or appreciate them as much, they can actually let them go and sell them back to the circular economy. Now, this is a nice little way of introducing a bit of a side hustle or a little small business for your children. They also get their first introduction into the concept of depreciation. That $80 scooter that we bought off Gumtree that we then sold for $25 has reduced in value. This has been a brilliant awakening and awareness for Rocco to build upon. And he started to take a lot more care in his toys because he understands now that a scratch or a dent will reduce the value of that toy and he won't be able to necessarily sell it as quickly or at the price that he wants. This is really valuable entrepreneurial skills that he will take well into his future. And of course, when we get our children involved in the process of selling and letting go of their toys, of course, it's a very natural and healthy skill set to be able to have, but we're also showing them how to respectfully and responsibly let go and dispose of unwanted, unused items to the circular economy. Tip number 6, and this is probably my favorite tip of all, and that is experiences. I find that my home, and I'm sure lots of other homes, are constantly overwhelmed and filled up to the brim with so much excessive consumption. The more items that we have, the more things that we have to take care of, and the less time we are left with. Less time for our family, less time for our friends, less time to invest in memories. This is why Tom and I really like to focus on experiences when it comes to gifts. So when it comes to Christmas time or birthday presents, the main gift is normally an experience. So it might be a tennis lesson or a golf lesson or some art classes or a surfing lesson. There are things that we can do together as a family or things that's going to develop and strengthen our own individual skill set, something that we're passionate and interested about anyway. We might add a couple of little presents along the way, but when you invest in experiences, you are creating memories that last a lifetime, particularly when you can include some sort of skill set in this particular experience. And of course, it goes without saying, this is going to be so much better for our planet. And then finally, tip number 7 is gently, gently, gently. Not at any time do we ever overwhelm or bombard or give Rocco these strict rules and regulations to follow when it comes to money. It is very much child-led. When Rocco wants to talk about money, we will always stop and take the time to have that conversation with them. I will always come from a place of education and empowerment. And once that conversation has expired, or I can see that his attention span is starting to waver, that is when the conversation can be very gently wrapped up. We can come back to it another day. Now, sure, only 10% of what I'm talking about is sinking in, and that's okay because 10% over a long period of time can really add up, and you're planting some very, very powerful and important seeds in your child's attitude, mindset, and perspective when it comes to looking at money, understanding the flow of money, understanding the discipline involved in money, and of course, delayed gratification and investing for long-term financial freedom and independence. All these little bits really do add up over time. And in fact, the other day in the car, I actually got my own financial lecture given to me by Rocco for buying two of the same things accidentally. At the end of the day, I really want you to understand that as a parent or an adult looking after children, that you do not need to be a financial expert when it comes to money. It is perfectly normal and natural for you to make mistakes. Just make sure you're always having healthy, inspiring, and educational conversations around money with your children. You focus on responsibility, respect, and mindfulness when it comes to money. Not throwing money at problems, not spending money irresponsibly, and of course, always turning to the circular economy when it comes to serving any of your immediate purchases wherever possible. I personally guarantee the investment of your own time into your children's financial future and education will give you a fantastic return on your investment, and you'll be amazed as to what they really can achieve when they put their mind to it themselves, just like you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Of course, please make sure you're subscribed, and thank you again for Gumtree for proudly sponsoring and collaborating with me on today's video. Ciao for now.